favorite actors of all time is also one of my favorite characters of all time, from one of my favorite shows of all time. It's Peter Dinklage as Tyrion from Game of Thrones. One of the great aspects about this show is that it loves to take people that, in the world this series has created, would most likely be found dead very quickly. The little people, the children, the women. But instead, many of them seize power relying on their cunning wit and create some unforgettable characters. My favorite one being Tyrion. This is a guy who knows his disadvantage and, as he puts it, wears it as a badge. Because once you embrace it, nobody can harm you with it. True, he was born into a royal family, but not only was he born as a little person, in a time period where they could get no respect whatsoever, but his birth also caused the death of his mother, leaving much anger in his father, the king. So he was cast aside and seen as not important. In many respects, he abused his authority, taking advantage of whores, alcohol, and so forth. But on the other hand, he also used the advantages he had to grow smarter, listened to the common people of the world, and became both bookwise and streetwise, turning him into probably the most intelligent person in the entire show. Not only does he know it, but he exploits it like mad. The second season in particular is the season of Peter Dinklage. When his father the king finally sees that he has this incredible intelligence, he assigns him to be the hand of the king, giving him unbelievable power. Not only does he use it to make strategic choices against his enemies, but he uses it to make strategic choices against his enemies in his own house.
No one threatens his grace in the presence of the king's guard.
I'm not threatening the king, sir. I am educating my nephew. Bronn, the next time Sir Meryn speaks, kill him. That was a threat. See the difference?
Anyone he doesn't trust, their ass is grass. Anyone doing wrong in the world, they're gone. He would lie, manipulate, and cheat, all for the purpose of ironically returning some honor and dignity to a very corrupt kingdom. And he just owns it. And I'm not gonna lie, even though the character is written wonderfully, so much of it does just come from the performance. Peter Dinklage is just unbe-fucking-lievable. All the actors in Game of Thrones are. But I think again by the fact that this character has probably the biggest disadvantage against him, at least in this time period, and totally turning it around to being the most awesome person in the entire series is really quite an achievement. He may be short, but nobody walks taller, and nobody deserves it more. Even when he has a chance to run away and live a happy life somewhere else, he finds that he can't because he enjoys the intellectual intrigue of the world around him, even if he knows he most likely will be killed for it. But he knows this is who he is, and if he ran away from it, he would die just slower and even less happy. At the very least, he could perish doing what he loves, being a smart bastard trying to play everyone else against each other, and soaking in the joys that he's the one that put it together. He's so diabolical and yet always doing it for the right reasons. He knows he's in a bad, evil world. He's lived in that bad, evil world. He's been the victim of that bad, evil world. But if he could give some comeuppance to the people who made that bad, evil world, it suddenly seems a little more tolerable. The series is not even over yet, and I just adore this guy. I haven't read the books, I don't know where it's gonna go, and I want to continue to be surprised. He's the best part of the best show.